Hello, friends. My name is Cindy, and I am one of the children's librarians at Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine. And today we're going to read part 2 of Piper Green and the Fairy Tree, written by Ellen Potter and illustrated by Qin Leng. Chapter 5. Piper Green, proper noun. Ms. Arabella swished up and down the aisles and handed out paper and pencils. This morning we are going to make a class dictionary, said Ms. Arabella. We will write definitions of ourselves. It will help us to get to know each other better. She turned around and wrote on the blackboard, Ms. Arabella, in parentheses, proper noun. 1. Ms. Arabella is 5 feet 6 inches tall and has blonde hair and green eyes. 2. Ms. Arabella's favorite things: painting, teaching, and eating lobsters. I peeked over at Jacob. He looked at Ms. Arabella all lovey-eyed when she wrote eating lobsters. Okay, said Ms. Arabella, now it's your turn, class. If you were in the dictionary, what would it say about you? I wrote down, Piper Green, proper noun. 1. Piper Green has blonde hair. It used to be long, but it got chopped to smithereens by her mother, who should not be allowed to cut kids' hair. I was thinking about my favorite things when I saw some swishing out of the corner of my eye. I looked up. Ms. Arabella was staring down at me. Piper, she said, reading my name on the paper. Yes? Piper, earmuffs are not allowed in class, said Ms. Arabella. Please take them off and put them in your cubby. I can't, I told her. Why not? She asked. I thought about telling her it was none of her beeswax, why not? But I had a feeling that would not go over too well. My ears feel naked without them, I said. Everyone laughed because I said naked. Ms. Arabella's face got pink. I wouldn't like to send you to the principal's office on your first day of 2nd grade, Ms. Arabella said in her most untinkly voice. I don't think any of us would like that, I agreed. We stared at each other. Those earmuffs stayed right on my head. All right, Piper, Ms. Arabella said. You will stay in at recess. I will also send a little note home to your parents. Then she swished away. I stared down at my paper. I told myself that I would not cry. But like I said, my eyes have a mind of their own. They started watering up. I wiped the tears away. Then I picked up my pencil and wrote, 2. Piper Green's favorite things. Not 2nd grade. Chapter 6. Bowling ball head. That night, Mom and Dad sat me down for a little talk, except they were the only ones allowed to do the talking. We know you love Eric's earmuffs, Piper, said Mom, and we understand that you miss him, but you have to listen to your teacher. Dad folded his arms across his chest. That's what he does when he means business. I think it's time to take those things off your head, Piper, Dad said. I started crying, and I wasn't faking either. Mom and Dad looked at each other. Then Dad said, Okay, you can wear them until you get to school tomorrow. The minute you walk into that classroom, though, off they come. Got it? I nodded, but a little voice in my ear said, That's what they think. Sleeping with earmuffs is not easy, especially if your head is extra round like a bowling ball, which mine is. I probably have the roundest head you'll ever meet. I tried to sleep on my back, but my head kept rolling around. I would wake up in the middle of the night with one of the earmuffs covering my eye or mashing my nose. In the morning, Leo was standing by my bed, staring down at me. See, I told you can't sleep with earmuffs. I felt around my face. The muffs were still on my ears, but the fuzzy headband part slipped off my head and hung down around my chin. I like it this way, I lied. You look like Abraham Lincoln, said Leo. He's my favorite president, I said. I kept wearing the earmuffs upside down all during breakfast, just to annoy Leo. Maybe Eric will call today, I said to Mom, hopefully. I don't know, Mom said. He'll be pretty busy this week. I looked at that lonely, empty chair again. Then I gave Glunky and Jibs each a little pat. Mom saw me do that. She narrowed her eyes at me. Remember, Piper, she said, what are you going to do when you get into the classroom? Take off the earmuffs, I said glumly. That's my girl. Mom kissed my nose, but that voice in my ear said again, these earmuffs are not leaving this head. As Leo and I walked down to the harbor, I worried and worried about the whole situation. Then I had an idea. I don't know why I didn't think of it before. I stopped walking. Oh, I said, clutching my belly. What's wrong? Leo asked. I'm sick, I told him. You were fine 2 minutes ago. Well, now I'm sick and I can't go to school, I told him. I'm going back home. He took a yellow Post-it note out of his back pocket and held it up to his ear for a second. Harold says that if you're faking, Mom will know it, Leo said. Harold is one of Leo's Post-it children. Yeah, well, I'm not faking, I insisted. I turned around and started walking back home. Just up ahead, I could see our little gray house. Mom would be very surprised to see me. I began to feel squibbly in my belly. Harold was right. Mom is a nurse. She can sniff out a healthy person like a bloodhound. I walked more and more slowly. When I reached our front yard, I heard that little voice in my ear again. This time it said, hide. Chapter 7. Good riddance to second grade. Luckily, I found a good hiding spot right away. It was a tree. Another lucky thing is that I am not afraid of heights. I climbed up that tree no problem. It wasn't too foggy, so I had a good view from up there. Our island is called Peekaboo because the fog likes to sit smack plop on top of us. If you look at us from the mainland, it seems as if our island is playing peekaboo, peeping out from behind the fog, then hiding behind it again. Today, though, I could see all the way to the harbor. I could see the Matty Rose. I could see Mr. Grindle standing on the wharf waiting for all the kids. I wondered what was in Mrs. Grindle's basket. I hoped it wasn't cinnamon buns because those are my favorite. I watched all the kids board the Matty Rose. I watched until the boat motored out of the harbor. Then I blew a big spitty raspberry. Good riddance to second grade, I said out loud. Suddenly, the door to our house opened. Mom came out. She looked all around. Then she started walking toward the road very quickly. She was going to pass right by the tree. I sat as still as I could and closed my eyes. I stayed like that for a long time. When I opened my eyes again, Mom was gone. Phew, close call. Then, out of the corner of my ear, I thought I heard something. It wasn't that little voice, though. It was a high, squeaky sound. I frowned and listened more closely. It was such a tiny sound that it was hard to hear with the earmuffs on my ears. I lifted Jibs up just a bit. I could hear the sound better. It went wee, 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 wee. It almost sounded as if the tree was crying. I lifted Jibs up some more and I put my ear to the tree trunk. Wee, wee, wee. It sounded as if it was coming from lower down. I climbed down a few branches. I lifted Jibs up again and put my ear to the tree trunk. Wee, 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 wee. Holy macaroni, that tree really was crying. Right at that moment, though, there was a whole other noise. This one blasted so loud that even with earmuffs on, it made me jump. This noise went wow, 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 wow. I knew that sound very well. It was the fire alarm. After a few minutes, I saw people come running out of their houses. We don't have special fire people or ambulance people on Peekaboo Island. It's just regular people who help when there is an emergency. I could see Dad out in his lobster boat racing back to the island. The alarm kept blasting and people kept running. Boy, I thought, I miss all kinds of excitement when I'm at school. And that is the end of our second reading of Piper Green and the Fairy Tree. And that was written by Ellen Potter and illustrated by Qin Leng. And tomorrow we will read part 3, beginning with chapter 8. I hope you enjoyed the second reading of Piper Green and the Fairy Tree, and I hope you'll come back tomorrow to hear more. My name is Cindy. I am one of the children's librarians at Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, friends.